Hello, this is Dave Gatros, and what I'm going to show you today is how to do stream input from a file. We start off with our basic project here. We've added fstream and string into this particular project because we're going to need those features. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to create the stream input object, and we'll just call it my file. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open it. We're going to say my file, open. We're not going to read in a file right now. We know the name of the file is word.dat. It's actually located over here in one of our file locations. So we're going to open that. And we're also going to add a check. I'll show you how to check to make sure a file is open. So we can say if, and we can just say my file. If it is a good file, what that will have in it, it will have a positive address, which will tell us that the file's open. If not, it'll have a negative address. So we can say, if my file, we can say cout, okay, file is open. But if not, okay, if not, we don't want to continue processing. We want to stop. So we say cout, file is not open. And then we actually quit the program. That can either be done by using a return 0, or we can say exit. That's another way of actually accomplishing it. So there we have it. Let's go ahead and save this. I'll save. And just like in most of our projects, we're going to incrementally build and test our program as we're going along. So we'll let it build here. Okay. And then we're going to run it, and we're going to say, aha, file is open. So we found it. Notice the location of the file itself. We've actually added it to our project. It'll put it in the correct location. All right, now, what we want to do now is read in the things from the file. And we're going to need a string object called word. Strings work very well in stream input. I like to use them better than character arrays. They require less work, a little bit less flexibility, but in this particular situation, that's okay. So the file is open, and we're going to say my file, and we're going to read the first word in. And what this will do is it will look at spaces in between the words and give us the first whole word and put that into the string called word. Now that we've got it, we can do something with it. But before we do that, I'm going to find out if actually we did read it in. Okay. Since I'm going to put this into a loop, and I want to make sure that I'm reading until I get to the end of file, I can actually test that. So I can say myfile.eof for end of file, and what will happen is if I'm at the end of file, this will come back as true. Now you'll notice that in a while loop, let me go ahead and fill in the begin in brackets for the while loop so they're there. What's going to happen is this while loop will continue while the question inside the parentheses here is true. Well, I want the exact opposite of that. I don't want to do this while it's in the file. I want to do it while it is not the end of file. So I put the exclamation point in front of it to reverse what comes out of it. So while it is not in the file, I'm going to process this. So when I first come in the loop, I can assume that I have at least one word that is good. So I can do something with that word. I can add it to a list. I can put it into a structure. I'm just going to print out. Okay, I'm saying read in the word, and then type it out. Okay. Now that I've got the word read in, I want to read in another word. And I'll explain this in a little bit. I'm going to close my file.close. So here's what's going to happen. I've opened my file. Okay, made sure it's open. I read in the first word. So let's say read in the first word. Okay. Then immediately I'm going to check to see if it's end of file. If it's end of file and I haven't read in a word, it'll just close the file and stop. If, however, I did read in a word, it will print it out, and then it will try to read in the next word. Okay, it'll hit this bracket and go up to the file loop and check to see, am I at the end of file now? So if I've got a file with one word in it, it will read it in, print it out. The next time I read, it will detect into file, and I'll just print one word out. This loop will continue until it tries to read past the first file. So let's save that. Say save, or everything turns green. We will build a solution. Okay, it has succeeded. And now we will start the program. And we'll notice over here our run has read in all of our words. Okay. And done it quite properly. Okay, very good. That is essentially how you do stream input. Exactly like CN. In fact, every place that I used CN in my file, I could put CN and it will work just the same. Okay. Hope that helps you.